after I finished a very important step in my career, and I was just in this kind of transition phase, and it just helped me tremendously to kind of leave behind my prior engagement and to start a new one. Hello, my name is Victor Wilhelmi. I'm the director of the Clinic Buchinger Wilhelmi in Marbella. And today I will be talking about my own fasting protocol. We've grown up with this, basically got it with the mother milk. I did my first fast when I was 16 years old. Not really recommendable to those out there, but I was just very curious, and I did a very light kind of fast just to know what my family has been talking about all these years. And throughout the years, I have added little things that I'm just, as you do more fasts, the more you realize how your optimal day is structured. And maybe I hope that you will have it will give inspiration to the people out there. I stress this is my own protocol, so I'm just because everybody is different and should make their own experience, but this is what has really served me well through the fasts that I do twice a year for 12 days. So I fast twice a year, typically in the beginning of the year and then towards autumn, usually 12 days, because it's a nice arrangement of time that I can make separate. I usually check into the clinics. So, I mean, because it's just the most complete environment with all the services that we have. And I would say the two fasts are a little bit different depending on when it is. The first fast is just the beginning of the year. I always like to have a project with me that I like to contemplate. Maybe we want to do some renovations here. Maybe we have a new project, these kind of things. And then I bring a lot of material to read. I call a lot of people, and I really take my time. And the first fast in the beginning of the year is really more of, so much has happened in a year, and we have not really the space to really process it. So I really think about the last year, I think about the next year, I write a lot of things, just ideas that come spontaneously. And the second half of the year in autumn is more of the reverse. I look more back, and it's maybe more also a body fast. Maybe I do a bit more sport. It's after the summer, so it has a bit of a different energy as well. So usually what I do is when I follow our protocol here in the clinic, with the first salt day, and maybe the viewers already know our step-by-step program from the clinic. So maybe I will just take a day in the middle of the fast, because it's more representative of what I do every day. So I wake up in the morning quite early with the sun usually. I go to the nurse, I get my usual checkups, and then I always go for the walks. The walks are just such an amazing thing to start. If you have a walk at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then at 8:45 you're finished, you feel already like you have accomplished something in the day. And sometimes also a nice way to connect with others who are also doing the walk, but sometimes I also do it alone, because depending on the day, those who fast regularly will know this, sometimes you feel a bit more introspective and maybe you don't want to see other people, and other times you feel a bit more, maybe you're a bit more energetic and you want to connect with others in the community. So I do my walk, then I come back, then here we offer a session of Qigong, which is more of a relaxation exercise. So it's with movement, so you're a bit more consciously inside yourself, but combined with some movement, so it's very nice. So then I go usually to my room, I read something, maybe I take a nice long shower, this kind of thing. I then have my lunch, and then depending if I was more active or if I'm maybe a bit more rested or a bit more like I don't feel so more of a contemplative, I have either a juice or I have a soup. The juice is if I need a bit of extra push, and otherwise I will have the soup, maybe to get a bit more into ketosis. And then I will usually do the liver pack. So it's a nice hot pack on your liver, which stimulates, and you do a nap. I normally in my working life don't take naps, even though I would love to. But just the fact to go back into bed, to get tucked in, to have a nice warm water bottle is just so relaxing, because also sometimes in fasting your sleep is a little bit choppy. So just to have that extra rest during lunchtime is just after lunch is just a fantastic thing to do. And then the afternoon is usually more creative work. So I write a lot. Maybe I go to our creative atelier. I call people. I read. So this is really like I kind of primed my body. I got my movement out of the way. I'm very relaxed after the walk. And then I have this mindset where my energy, my creative energy, my mind works the best. So I try to keep the afternoons or empty, or I take a massage. It's also really nice to have a massage during fasting, not only for relaxation, but also to liberate all the things that have accumulated in our tissue, to kind of bring it into movement. So if you do a deep tissue massage, some people even have emotional reactions to that. So it's just a very, very good time. And then even if you have an emotional reaction, you're in this contemplative energy in the afternoon. So I really enjoy doing it like this. And then at night, I will have a soup. So no juice at night. I will always have the soup so that it's better for my digestion. It kind of calms me more. And no, sorry, before I have the soup, I take a sauna. So this is then really the ultimate relaxation. You take a little bit of the cold, and afterwards you're just, ready. You have a soup, and then maybe a little bit of reading, and then you go to bed. So this will be more or less my usual fasting rhythm. And I can really recommend to other people I know prioritize a different order. So maybe they will have their unit of movement in the afternoon, will have a more relaxation moment, or will have a massage in the morning. So everybody has to find their own rhythm. But this is my rhythm, and I really follow it every day. And it's just makes you, you go to bed and you feel accomplished, you feel great. And you just find these kind of natural rhythms again. I had one particular fast that was two maybe, that were very, very memorable to me. The first one was after I finished a very important step in my career, and I was just in this kind of transition phase, and it just helped me tremendously to kind of leave behind my prior engagement and to start a new one. So you really have this mental shift, and sometimes you need these kind of rituals, and people these days, they just go from one thing to the other and they don't give themselves the time to make this transition. And often you're not emotionally there and you're already starting something new. And then maybe also you don't listen to how you feel, you don't process these things. And so you maybe rush it a little bit too much. And for me, it was a perfect kind of glue binding those two things together, and it gave me the time to transition. The other fast I did was very memorable, was for another reason. It was for a big study we did with the CNRS in Strasbourg, where I had almost every bodily fluid measured that I have for a scientific purpose, and we had a very strict kind of protocol, but it was a group exercise, so I was in a very group setting, where everybody would compare all our values, and it was so interesting to see the results in the different people, and also how it affected them mentally. So it was really like I was part of a clinical study, studying everything and living with the test subjects, being myself a test subject. And we did a wonderful study that we then later also published. Also checked the microbiome, where we checked our microbiome in the beginning, in the middle, at the end, and after 3 months after the fasting cure. And so it was just very, very exciting to work with such high-profile scientists together. and to see the results that were really as hoped. And we have another YouTube video about that that I really encourage people to watch if they haven't done it. So when I'm not doing these long fasts, I also have a routine of intermittent fasting in my day-to-day. What I usually do, and again, this is my personal protocol, everybody has to see for themselves what works best for themselves. So what I do usually is sometimes I will have breakfast, sometimes not. Me personally, I skip my lunch just because I feel I have a very good breakfast that serves me. Then I usually have a muesli. We have also a link in the videos. It's a muesli. It's a mix of fruits, quark, linseed oil. It's a good base for the morning, and I have a coffee with that. And then I will usually skip lunch, and then I will have dinner. And our dinner is I'm a very avid cooker, and here in the clinic we have a network of farmers, and so we sell. We not only give our clients the fruits and vegetables that we have from our farmers, but also we sell it to our personnel. And so we can get a box of vegetables and fruits that are usually 12 to 14 kilos. And so when I go home and I make dinner, my goal is to diminish this box. And in this box, you have whatever is seasonal. And it's a wonderful exercise because you have to get creative, because sometimes the boxes are very repetitive, because something is just in season, and then you have to say, okay, how can I make this maybe taste better? It's usually more of a plant-based dinner, but I'm not a vegetarian myself. I would consider myself a flexitarian, so I will have some meat, some fish occasionally, but the big portion will be this plant-based food, and I really, look for good oils, we're not really dogmatic on what we use as long as it's good quality. So if I use a cheese, I will use a very good Parmesan. If it's an oil, it will be a very good oil. If I have a glass of wine, it has to be biological. So I really, really look for quality. And the beautiful thing is that if you look for quality, the taste also kind of follows up, and the nutrient level also follows up. So if I'm not with friends or if I don't eat out, usually that's what that will be one of the days. And then throughout the days, we have a lot of water, some teas. Maybe depending on the day, I will have another coffee around noon. But then I cut the coffee consumption because it has a half time of 12 hours. So we see that before 12, we stop the coffee consumption. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found some inspiration in it. We would love to hear how you're doing things, so maybe to have an exchange. If you like this video, you can click the like button. And we have a lot of the things I mentioned in this talk, we also have as separate videos in our YouTube channel. So if you want more inspiration and if you like this video, check out the other videos, and have a great day and have a good fast maybe.